One of the most frustrating things about doing in-home sales, like selling home improvements, is when you spend 2 hours in the home to make a sale and then they cancel. If you get a cancellation, it can be twice as brutal because you not only lost the commission, but it frustrates you and affects you making future sales. By law, any sale made in the customer's home has a 3-day period that they can cancel their order. Here are some things that cause cancellations, and by knowing them, you'll know how to avoid them and make more money. I will also go over how I use the Notice of Cancellation to tighten up weak sales, so please watch until the end. Now, if these videos are helping you, please subscribe to help me, or for more free training, check out the link in the description below. The first thing to do if you want to lower your cancellation rate is that you have to take responsibility for it. I used to think how weird it was that people's lives were perfect until they bought something from me. Then they lost their job, realized that they didn't actually own their home, or find out that they had a child that they didn't know about and couldn't afford to do the work. I guess it's possible, but the reality is that in most cases, the reason they canceled is your fault. It's hard for some people to accept that, but the good part is that because it's your fault, that it's controllable. To me, a cancellation is almost like a delayed no sale. All you got them to do is sign something and give you some money. I'd almost rather have them not buy it all than think I made a sale and commission than have it cancel. If they cancel, it means that you haven't sold them properly. You can make people do anything, but if you made them do it instead of make them want to do it, they'll cancel as soon as you leave the house. That's why one of the main reasons that causes cancellations is the way that they're sold. People who are what I call stylized salespeople and who don't follow a methodical system to sell someone generally have a higher cancellation rate. Stylized can mean that you just rapport them enough that they can't say no to you, or it could be that you high pressure them into signing the paperwork. Well, Ron, I want to think about it. I understand, just sign here and your thinking will be done. Both these type of sales will be a cancellation. That's because in a way you're making them do it instead of making them want to do it. Properly building the value and learning to sell so that they're in love with your product is how you make them want it. The way to do this consistently is to be consistent in how you sell. A good system doesn't sound canned or like a sales presentation that annoys people, but it covers all the points of a good needs analysis, sells your company product and installation, and building value and price conditioning them so they think your product is worth what you're charging. Then being able to one-call close them in a way that's professional and doesn't make them feel pressured. If you do your job right, they should have 1,000 days to cancel and they don't. Now, when you're new, accept the fact that you will get cancellations. A good way not to get frustrated by them is not to count any of your money until the 3 days goes by. Don't make a sale and get all excited and think you just made $1,000. Look at it like you just put a job into the sales funnel, and until the 3-day rescission period goes by and it becomes a net sale that you don't have anything. That way, if it does cancel, you won't feel so bad like you lost something. Don't count it until you actually have something. Another big reason that people cancel is that the salesperson doesn't write what I call a tight deal. The worst case is when they sell on rescission. That's where you close by saying, well, if you're not sure, just sign up now, and if you change your mind, you have 3 days to cancel. This is something that weak and new salespeople do until they learn that it doesn't work because everyone cancels. A variation of this is that when you sell jobs that you know are weak. I've had salespeople where when I told them that their job canceled, that they told me that, well, that didn't surprise me. You should never sell a job where you think the deal is weak. You'll soon find out that if you think they may cancel, that they usually do. If they're not sure, then you shouldn't be selling them, or if you need to, take it away to lock it in. You have to be strong enough to say, I appreciate your business, but if you're not sure, I would just prefer you didn't do it because I don't do business like that. In the worst case, if you did take it away and they let you, then you should know that they would have canceled anyway. Your best shot is to take it away, and if the job is sold correctly, they'll come back and the job will be even tighter. One place you can do that is at the Notice of Cancellation that is required by law to be given to the customer in all jobs sold in the home. Sometimes I see salespeople not even explain it and just get the customer to sign it in a flurry of sign here, 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 and here. That's weak and it's wrong. If you get paperwork signed like that, they'll look at everything after you leave, and when they see that you didn't explain it, it could hurt your credibility. If done right, this form can actually make your sale tighter. This is how I explain the Notice of Cancellation, where maybe I had to spend a long time on the close, or I'm not sure it's tight and want to make sure. It would sound like this. Well, the last form we have to sign right here, John and Mary, is I need you to know that anytime you purchase something in your home, you have 3 business days to cancel the transaction. It's an old law because people used to sell things door to door, and it really gave you 3 days to make sure the company exists. You obviously know we exist, but I still need you to sign the form that will explain your rights to you and you understand how it works. But before I have you sign this, I just want to make sure that, are you comfortable with everything that we explained to you and the payment we worked on you're comfortable with? Yes, Ron, I am. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you do have 3 days to cancel, but if you're not sure, I just want to let you know I have no problems ripping everything up right now, and I'd still thank you for all your time. Because everything up to now has been for you, and I guess this part's for me. Because if I bring in this order and then 2 days later somebody cancels, it really looks bad for me because the company thinks that I pressured you into doing this. So are you comfortable with everything? Yes, Ron, everything's great. And can I have your word that you'll follow through with this so I can sleep at night? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, well then I just need you to sign right here then that I explain your rights to you. Thank you. The other way to lower your cancellation rate is to do what's called a good post-close. In its simplest terms, you report them when you get there. Now be sure you report them and make sure they're comfortable on your way out. Don't wham bam get the paperwork signed and run out of the house. In your sales call, you get them all excited to buy, then you have to make sure that they come back down to earth and cool down while you're there so they don't have buyer's remorse after you leave. After thanking them for their business, I always get them to sell themselves and tighten up the job by asking them, if you don't mind, John and Mary, what's the main reason you decided to hire us today? Well, I like everything you had to offer and how you did the work, etc. Check for any of the holes. For example, if they told me when I got there that if my roof was more than $10,000 that I was wasting my time, after I asked them why they bought, I would lock in by asking them, you know, when I first got here, you told me that you weren't spending more than $10,000. What made you decide to spend the $15,000 on our roof? Their answers to these questions will reinforce the sale, and you can't be afraid to ask them. They would have asked themselves these questions after you left anyway, and at least if you're there, if there's any doubt, you can handle it. Don't be afraid to ask the question because you think they'll back out. If they can't answer questions like this, they would back out and cancel after you leave anyway. In most cases, you asking them, answering them now, will make the job even tighter. The other tip is that you should always give the customer a thank you call the next day. Hi Tom, I just wanted to call and thank you again for your business and let you know that we processed all of the paperwork and everything's on its way. This does 2 things. It adds an air of finality, everything's on its way, which may put to rest any lingering doubts, and also if they're going to cancel, I want to find out right now. The easiest time to save the job is now where everything's still fresh. Now if you don't make the thank you call, then sometimes you don't even find out about the cancellation until the notice of cancellation comes in, and it could be 3 or 4 days later. At that point, all the momentum is gone and the job is much harder to save. Now if you like this video, please check out the video on features and benefits so you can learn to sell better, or the playlist on closing listed above. Happy selling!